Go here, go there, go anywhere with Phillips 66.
Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. We have very competent and successful providers that provide the best care possible. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. As a hospital, we're really proud of what we are able to provide. It's an all-encompassing department that is very, very much needed.
Welcome to Bear Lake basketball from Bear Lake High School. Tonight, the Bear Lake Bears hosting the American Falls Beavers, and I've got a little bit different co-host tonight. Lisa, if you tuned in last night, does not have a voice. In fact, it might even be worse today. So I sent her home, and Andrew Wallenstein, you made the mistake of coming up and sitting down to talk to me, and I said, hey, you want to put on a headset? And he volunteered to, so welcome, Andrew.
Thank you so much, Jared. It's great to be here and to be able to be part of this broadcast tonight.
It's one of the things that's going to be fun is he's got an identity crisis going on tonight. He's wearing his American Falls polo and his Bear Lake hat. Those of you that remember Andrew grew up here in the Bear Lake Valley. He coached the C team up in American Falls for a couple years.
Yeah, the last 3 years had the opportunity to be up there and be involved in the program and building the program back. And so being here back local again, you're right, it's hard because you've got a tie to so many of the different kids, but the roots also run deep when you're from Bear Lake.
So he is wearing blue hat, red shirt, but we got him on the air. The good thing is he's going to know both programs. He knows American Falls kids a lot better than he knows the Bear Lake kids, but we should have some fun tonight. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot quickly. You came up and asked me this before we ever went on. What's your key to the game for tonight?
Yeah, so, for me, I think I look at this and I think of three things specifically. So, number one, we look at pace of play. American Falls likes to run. They have a very quick pace of play, a very high-strung offense. And so limiting the pace of play for Bear Lake is going to be very large, keeping them from getting back and reducing the run. And then for both teams, I think it's going to be a big second chance game. If Bear Lake can limit the second chances that American Falls gets, and likewise, if American Falls is limiting the second chances Bear Lake gets, I think the game's really going to go in favor of who's able to do that. And lastly, and this one is more specific for Bear Lake, it is owning the paint. If Bear Lake is able to control the paint and to be able to convert in the paint, that's going to be a huge factor in whether or not they are able to dominate in this game.
I 100% agree with that. We talked before the game, and I talked to Coach Stephen Grigg about it. I talked to several people about this actually tonight. The advantage that American Falls has in this game is they're fast. So when you say get back in transition defense, if you're Bear Lake, that is very important. The Bears proved they could because American Falls really reminds me a lot of Teton in the way they play. They want to move the ball quickly. The other thing you mentioned with the second chance points, American Falls is probably the only team Bear Lake plays in district that Bears have a distinct size advantage.
Right.
If you remember the game up in American Falls, Brox Birch had an excellent game. He was, because he has a size advantage. This is one of the few teams that he does. So if you're American Falls, you're going to want to push it, you're going to want to run it and hope the Bears don't get back. If you're Bear Lake, you want to pack it in and use your size. And it's a difference in styles for these two teams. Very different basketball teams. Obviously, Zach Grigg, the senior guard for American Falls, he dominated Bear Lake in football, and he had a fantastic game up in basketball. The son of the head coach, Steve Grigg, and he's just an exceptional athlete. On the other side, Tate Ewing inside, Brox Birch inside, Gavin Robinson, if he can get going, he's had some good games. So the Bears do have that advantage. So it's going to be an interesting night. The other key to the game that I'm going to add, and I think I said this to you off the air, is the Bear Lake Bears really have yet to put together four quarters.
Right.
They've had games where, even against Snake River, and Snake River beat us by 30 points in both games. The Bears actually played with Snake River for at least one, if not two, or even almost three quarters in the first game here of the game. It was just one or two quarters that got out of control. In Snake River, it was 19-2 after the first quarter. That's hard to come back from. So the Bears got to put together four quarters, and if they can do that, just like we all saw the other night against Marsh Valley, the Bears had every chance to beat the Eagles.
Right.
And may actually be able to pull that off in Marsh Valley Friday night. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Bears can pull off an upset there. But they've got to put 4 quarters together. They've got to continue to play on both ends of the court. Sometimes it's the defense that lets them down. Sometimes they go quiet offensively. And if the Bears can do that, they could do some damage. This district is not – I don't think this district is quite as lopsided as some of the scores have showed. I think this American Falls team can play with Snake River. Talk about a difference in styles, even more contrasting than Bear Lake and American Falls. Snake River relies on their height. They got 3 bigs. And American Falls is just quick. And I thought that'd be a more interesting matchup. I talked to Coach Grigg before the game. He was disappointed in the way they performed against Snake River, and they're excited for the rematch coming up on Friday.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the players and year to year changeovers. There's a lot of things that does actually stay the same. And as a coach, you don't always have an opportunity to change schemes because. A lot will stay the same. You look at Snake River, they've got a coach, a program that's been there for a very, very long time, very well established, and you basically know what you're going to get when you go against them. And so you're scheming a lot for the individual players. This year, like you mentioned, they've got a lot of height, and so it is very contrasting styles. But you're right, there is not as much of a gap in the talent level in this district as there has been at the past sometimes. And, they say any given Friday, right, any given Sunday, that's what this district is it's going to be who shows up and plays that complete game on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, Coach Grigg before the game said that very thing. He said he wouldn't be surprised to see some upsets in the district tournament. And he wasn't just talking about himself over Snake River. He was talking about Bear Lake pulling off the upset against Marsh Valley and even giving a better game to American Falls or Snake River than most people expect, because the Bears do have that ability. And when you do have really 4 contrasting styles, none of the 4 teams really play alike. And so it's all about matchups and all about who gets hot. And so this could be a fun tournament. The girls' tournament, really one real super competitive game in the whole tournament. That was the Snake River Marsh Valley game in the, I guess you'd call it the semifinals. It was a 3-point game. Every other game in the girls' district tournament was a double-digit matchup. I don't expect that in the boys' tournament. Marsh Valley came in here last night in the championship game and played good. Bears pulled away in the end, won by 16. I would expect in the boys' tournament there might be some blowout games, but there might also be 2, 3, 4 games that come down to the buzzer, because these teams are fun to watch, and they're, American Falls ranked 4th in the state. Snake River down at 8th. That's deceptive because Jones did not play the first half of the season, so they picked up some losses they shouldn't have. And Marsh Valley they've dropped a little bit. They're down at 6th. Those 3 teams pretty close, 4, 6, and 8 in the rankings. Bear Lake a little bit further down at 16, but the Bears showed the other night against Marsh Valley. Anything can happen.
And that's the thing, Jared. The other night after the Marsh Valley game, I'd been watching it online, and when the game was done, I texted Coach Grigg and I said, look, do not let your guys come into Bear Lake thinking that it's going to be an easy game. This might be the biggest potential for a trap game that you have all season. These guys can play. They can play with anybody. They've shown it throughout the year. Earlier in the season when they played Teton, also one of the better teams in the state, they had a really great showing there. And so I texted them. I said, do not let them take it lightly, because this could be a trap game where you come down here and Bear Lake is ready to play, and it could end up being a loss if you're not careful.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. The Bear Lake is due for a breakout game. They've had spurts. The other night up in Snake River played Snake, a very talented team, even in the second quarter. They played Marsh Valley good the other night. Teton, that game, you mentioned that. The game before that, the Bears beat Grace here. Then they came out and took Teton, who's ranked number 2 in the state still. It took him to the 4th quarter before Teton finally pulled away a little bit, but it was never really comfortable for Teton in that game. And they've proven they can do it, and we're hoping that the Bears can show that tonight. I know you got a little bit of mixed loyalty for yourself, because a lot of these kids out on the court are kids that you coached and kids you're close to. But for me and the other Bears fans, and even you in your heart, we want to see the Bears pull off that upset. It would be fun to watch, and I think it would be good for basketball in the district. It's more fun when it's competitive. The blowout games are hard.
Yeah, they are, and it doesn't matter what sport that you're playing. When the games are close, those emotions are higher. The enjoyment level for the fans is there, and frankly, the enjoyment level for those who are competing on the floor, on the field, it's higher too because it means more. And so it's always a great thing when games are close, win, lose. If you're close, it's always going to be a lot better time. And usually there's a lot more to build off of as players and as programs.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the spread tonight. I try to mention every night, the computers, the Max Preps rankings, what they expect. They give American Falls about a 16-point edge in tonight's game based on what happened in American Falls. I feel like that's appropriate, but like we've said, it could go either way, and wouldn't be surprised if the Bears can make it closer than that, maybe even pull off the upset. I'm going to give a shout-out to one of our officials, Gary Carlson, here tonight. Gary broke his leg and has not been officiating. This is one of his first games back since he got injured. The one and only snowstorm in the entire southeast Idaho this year. He was out shoveling his snow and twisted his leg just wrong. But he said he told us pregame he had it looked at today. The doctors say it's fine. It actually healed faster than they expected it to, which is good because he's not exactly young. So we're glad to see Gary. A lot of these officials that come in here, and you know this as a coach the last few years, you get to know some of these officials off the court as well. And most of the officials, even though we criticize them sometimes, we like to yell at them in the games. They're good guys, and so it's good to see Gary back out there. I just wanted to give him a shout-out.
Yeah, and, Gary's one of those guys, he not just gets involved here helping and reffing at the high school level. He does a lot in the communities. He was always participating, when there was tournaments going on in Little League, whether it was, into Pocatello or out in American Falls or wherever. If there was a need, he was usually there. And I think you see that with a lot of individuals, that they try and do that to stay sharp, right, to make sure that their mind and their eyes, right, are seeing what they need to see. But he genuinely, all levels, even down into the young elementary groups, he was always there to help. And so he's one of those really good guys that you like to have around.
Yeah, I got to know him a little bit over the years. He started reffing, back when I was in high school. I think he was a very young official. That's a lot of years ago. But as my kids came up through starting 5th, 6th grade football, and then all the way through softball, all the years I coached from when I started coaching at 10U and on up, Gary was always there. He's still the lead official for baseball and softball, and I've actually seen him in games standing there between innings making phone calls, trying to make sure the other officials are where they're supposed to be and put out fires while he's trying to do his own game. He's a good guy, and glad to have him back. The other two officials, for those of you that know, Brian Lohman, and now my mind went blank. I had his name in my mind when I would say it. Now my mind went blank. But a couple of good officials tonight. All three are good officials and looking for a good game. I pulled it up earlier, so maybe I can find it again here.
And I apologize. It's one of those that I know his face as well, and I'm just spacing on his name.
It's Randy Baker. I knew that.
That's right.
So Brian Lohman, Randy Baker, and Gary Carlson, your three officials. Bears are in their black uniforms tonight, their alternate black uniforms. I think this is the first game all year they've worn their blacks. They may have done it on one road game, but they've been in their traditional uniforms all year. They wanted to do it for one last time. They thought about doing it Saturday on senior night, but South Fremont's coming to town and doesn't have their white jerseys available Saturday, so American Falls so graciously accepted the invitation to play in their home whites tonight. The Bear Lake Bears will be in their black trimmed in blue, and it'll be a fun matchup as they're playing the school song. We're about to have a national anthem, and then we'll get started. So we're going to take, because the way the national anthem is going to be tonight is going to be just over the phone, so we're going to take about a 2-minute break. We'll come back with the starting lineups in 2 minutes right here on the SVI Sports Network.
Nice job, Martin. Looking good. Oh, it's the funny car guy.
Hey, you got Napa know-how too, huh?
Yep. Well, Martin does go 200 miles an hour.
Ron breaks 300 in 4 seconds.
Yeah, in a straight line. That's real hard.
You drive in a circle.
You don't even steer.
Look at me.
Hey, you
I
two.
turn left.
Don't make me go get my can.
Your can's old.
Quiet! Matlock's on!
That's Daryl's can.
Boogity, boogity!
Go here, Go there. Go anywhere with Phillips 66.
Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. We have very competent and successful providers that provide the best care possible. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. As a hospital, we're really proud of what we are able to provide. It's an all-encompassing department that is very, very much needed.
Nice job, Martin. Looking good. Oh, it's the funny car guy.
Hey, you got Napa know-how too, huh?
Yep.
Well, Martin does go 200 miles an hour.
Ron breaks 300 in 4 seconds.
Yeah, in a straight line. That's real hard.
You drive in a circle.
You don't even steer.
Look at me.
Hey, you
I
two.
turn left.
Don't make me go get my can.
Your can's old.
Quiet! Matlock's on!
That's Daryl's can.
Boogity, boogity!
All right, tonight we've got the starting lineups being presented. Starting lineup for American Falls, we have Gavin Adamson, number 1, a senior. Number 3, Sawyer Bogan, he is also a senior. Number 4, Zach Grigg, a senior. Number 5, Kaylin Hernandez, a senior also. And lastly, Cash Wilkinson, number 14, also a senior. This American Falls has a lot of seniors this year. They've actually got 9 total. They have a group that's come up, played a lot together over the years. For Bear Lake, we have Austin Tafoya, number 1. A senior number 3, Caden Anderson. We've got junior number 22, Brock Birch. These guys all coming out, getting their high fives in and throwing a shirt up into the stands. We also have number 24, junior Tate Ewing, and a junior, number 30, Gavin Robinson. This is where the Bears really shine. They have good point guards. They've got talented point guards that can handle the ball, but they also have a lot of great size in a couple of these players. And as we mentioned earlier, that's going to be a big part of this game, is whether or not the Bears can control the paint and whether they can utilize that size to limit their second chance points that American Falls might be getting.
Yep, the speed versus the size, and we're ready for basketball. As soon as they turn the lights back on, Mr. Crane down there, and there we go. Though they turn them off with the black lights. If you haven't been to the gym and you're not watching on the television, well, the live stream, the black lights are really cool.
It makes for a really fun environment.
It does. I think all 4 teams in the district now have that.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
Bear Lake was able to add that this year, and man, it's a great design. It looks great when those black lights come on. It's a lot of fun.
It's beautiful with them off, with the regular lights on, but it's even cooler when you get those black lights up there. Okay, Gary Carlson toss it up. Jump ball will be between Birch and
Hernandez.
I knew it. I couldn't think of it. And the Bears control the tip. Caden Anderson has the ball. Bears on offense to start. Ewing with the dribble handoff to Birch. Birch across the top, picked up by Grigg. Now to Tafoya. Tafoya down the lane. He'll hand off to Anderson. Anderson pump fakes the three, drives the lane, kicks it to Birch. Birch will shoot the three, and it's no good. Hernandez can't control the rebound. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball, as Hernandez had good position, but the ball kind of took a weird hop and bounced off his knee out of bounds. It'll be Bears ball baseline. 7:38 left to go here in the first period as we're underway. Anderson, three on the inbound. Looks good, is good.
Great shot.
There's the Usay, Phillips 66 three-point make for Caden Anderson. Usay, Phillips 66 live to the full, where your convenience is our pleasure. And at the other end, trying to match it was Bolgen from the corner, no good, but the rebound goes to the Beavers. Wilkinson with it. He goes underneath to Grigg. Grigg trap baseline. He'll come, well, they say 3 seconds. They call him for 3 seconds as he was double teamed on the baseline, and Grigg's the shortest guy out there for American Falls, and he was surrounded by the bigs on the inside. No place to go with the ball. 3-second call. And now an official's timeout as Gavin Robinson has to stop and tie his shoe.
I think this is a good highlight, though, right away that we were talking about. Second chance points is credit to Tate Ewing there. If he hadn't been working on that rebound, I don't know if it would have taken a funny hop. And so that's going to be a big thing, right, exactly like we were talking about.
Birch with the ball up top for the Bears now to Ewing. Ewing will drive across and reach in from behind. Hernandez trying to get the tip, and the steal ends up getting the foul instead. It'll be Bears basketball on the sideline.
Now, this might be another thing to watch. Traditionally, Callan has had a hard time with fouls as he gets into games. Very competitive. That might be something to watch, picking up a foul this early. That could be detrimental to the Beavers long term.
So inbound coming from Tafoya on the baseline, and he'll bring it to Anderson. Anderson will take it to Ewing. Ewing trying to go down the lane, cut off there. He'll back it back out and reset the offense. Adamson on the defense there. And now inside, Robinson goes to Birch. Birch back to Robinson. Robinson fakes the three, goes to Tafoya. 20-second shot clock. Plenty of time for the Bears. As Tafoya will give it to Ewing. Ewing brings it across the top. He'll go down the lane. Loop it up, no good. But the rebound to Birch, knocked away by Adamson. Rebound, though, to Robinson. And then Robinson's going to be tied up. It'll be jump ball. It'll be American Falls basketball turnover, Bear Lake.
Great hustle there for both teams. Just happened to be one of those things where it's ready to come back American Falls way, but looking good for the Bears as far as how they're starting.
So far, the defense has been stellar for the Bears as they have the 3-0 lead in the early going. Ball comes in the front court. Adamson goes in the corner to Hernandez, back out top to Grigg. In the corner, Adamson open for three. Corner three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Bolgen for the Beavers. Grigg with it. He'll drive baseline, kick it out. Hernandez. Hernandez three. No good. Bolgen with the rebound. He kicks it back outside. Grigg will reset. So a couple second chance opportunities. And Bolgen will try the corner three again. And no good again, but rebound taken down by Wilkinson. He gets it to Bolgen. Bolgen will bring it back out to Grigg. Third chance on this trip down the court. Down the lane goes Wilkinson. Kicks back to Bolgen. He won't shoot the three this time. Drives it, gives it to Grigg. Grigg down the baseline. Gets it inside Hernandez. Hernandez's shot is blocked by Robinson. Robinson will come up with the rebound. So the Bears dodge the bullet after 3 offensive rebounds. They still hold the Beavers scoreless. We're over 2.5 minutes into this game now, and it's still 3-0 as Brock's Birch trap baseline. Hernandez forced him to step out of bounds. Good defensive play by the Beavers.
So looking at what's happened so far offensively for the Beavers, this is a good sign for the Bears. The Beavers are not connecting on any of their shots, and that's not typical for them with a high-paced offense.
Adamson in the backcourt playing catch with Bolgen. Now to Grigg. He'll set the offense up top. Back to Bolgen on the wing and to Grigg. Grigg gets the screen, looks for the pick and roll, not there. Anderson gets the steal on the pass, and will bring it to the front court quickly up ahead to Ewing. Ewing's just going to have to slow it down as he's trapped baseline. He'll dribble back out and look for some help. He'll pass it up front. Anderson over to Birch. Birch inside to Robinson. Good move by Robinson. Big shot's good. Bears have the 5-0 lead. 3 minutes gone in this one. And the Bears take the lead, increase the lead, I should say, to 5-0. Adamson with the three ball on the way. No good. Nice rebound by Bolgen. And he gets it to go. And the Beavers are on the board. Second chance opportunities. We talked about that being possibly a key to the game for the Bear Lake. And so far it's been the key to the game for American Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Ewing with it on the wing. He goes to Anderson. Anderson will look for a cutter inside. Can't get it to Birch. Adamson knocks it away out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. Beavers making some substitutions.
Now with these coming in for American Falls, Ty Smith, number 32, he's known to have a good rebounding presence. He understands where to position. Fred, number 43, he's a good shooter. He's got a good head on him, and he's got a high motor. And then same with the younger Grigg brother, number 2. He's a good shooter. He's got a high motor. So it'll be interesting to see if they can help change up the pace with what they're struggling with right now.
So it's an announcer's dream to have two people with the same last name on the court together. But the Griggs, they play a lot together up in American Falls, so we're not surprised. Ewing goes cross court to Birch. Birch traveled. He did the pump fake before he drove and drug his foot. Turnover, Bear Lake. They still have the lead by 3, 5-2 on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare. You can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. 4:21 left in this first period, and the Bears have held the Beavers to just 2 points, and they came on a second chance opportunity. Murillo with the shot from the corner. You said he was a shooter, and he gets the USAVE Phillips 66 three-point bucket to go, and we're tied at 5. The Bears started at 5-0. The Beavers on a 5-0 run of their own, and we're tied at 5 after the USAVE Phillips 66 three-point shot by Murillo. Birch to Anderson in the corner. Anderson has the three-point bucket for the Bears. He'll spin down the lane and go to Ewing. Ewing thinks about the three, drives on Grigg, spins, shoots, gets it to go. Nice move by Tate Ewing the other night against Mars Valley. Those shots weren't falling for him, and tonight it's good to see him get the first bucket to go. As Griggs pass, he goes through the hands of Birch. They say he didn't tip it. Actually, no, the other official changes the call. 2 officials said no tip. The third official said, yes, I saw a tip. Now they'll talk about it.
And this is hard because you have 3 officials on the floor. So you've got an official that was in the front court and was looking kind of straight down the barrel of that pass. And so he might have seen the deflection where the other ones were looking from the side.
And after a discussion, they said, no tip, Bears basketball. So the 2 officials that had the best views of it were the ones that talked it over, and they changed it back to the original call, Bear Lake basketball. The Bears have the ball. Bears have the 2-point lead at 7-5. Anderson goes to Saxton, who's now checked into the game for the Bears. He replaced Tafoya. Saxton across the lane, and he'll now go to Ewing. Ewing has a size advantage on Grigg when he gets him on him like that. He didn't take advantage of it that time. And the handoff to Birch. He'll go down low, use his body and get the bucket, 9-5. That's what we talked about pregame. Birch has the size advantage and took advantage of it there. Now down the lane to the younger Grigg, Hunter. He comes back outside, and Bolgen, baseline, goes inside to Smith. Smith goes baseline to Grigg. It's blocked. Last touch, though, by the American Falls Beavers. Good defense there by Robinson, and the Bears create the turnover.
So in my initial pregame, I said that it was going to be important to create, slower pace of play. Bear Lake has not necessarily done that, but their stifling defense has really thrown American Falls out of their rhythm.
Tykert on the court now for American Falls. Saxon back to Caden Anderson at the top of the key. Anderson to Ewing. Ewing baseline to Robinson. Robinson will come back outside to Anderson. Anderson fakes the three, goes to Ewing. Ewing will take the three from the angle. No good. Rebound is going to be controlled by Saxton, and then Grigg steals it from him. But they say that Saxton went back court. I had to wait till this out. It could have really been backcourt on almost either team right there because both of them kind of had possession, went back and forth.
Yeah, I'm going to say I wouldn't have called either one because I don't think either one fully had possession. But that's a ref's call that they have to make.
So Grigg went down the lane and passed it out to his brother Hunter. Hunter for the three from the corner is no good. Rebound Bear Lake. So Birch going to drive and offensive foul. I agree. Murillo had good position. Birch tried to avoid the contact but couldn't.
Yeah, and I think that's smart, a heads-up play on Murillo. He made sure he was standing on his heels. There wasn't a lot of contact, but there was enough to make the ref call that. And so that's a good heads-up play by Murillo. Hard break for Bear Lake.
So that's the turnover on the offensive foul. That goes on Brock Birch. That is his first. And the first team foul of the game for the Bear Lake Bears. And I've got a sponsor sheet somewhere. It tells me who my sponsors I'm supposed to read.
Lisa usually is keeping stats too. I didn't even think about that. I'm not tracking anything. I apologize.
No, Lisa is at home. She'll text us the stats at the quarter break. But I do want to thank our two main sponsors. Phillips 66 USAVE, our three-point sponsors. USAVE, live to the full, where your convenience is our pleasure. And Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. They are the scoreboard sponsor tonight and every night, and they're bringing you all these games. Napa is another one of our sponsors, Napa Know-How, located in Montpelier. And we'll get the rest of them after in the next break, as the Beavers will bring the ball in the front court. Tykert with the ball. He'll go back to Hunter Grigg. Hunter across the top and goes to Murillo. Cameron Roberts is checked in the game for the Bear Lake Bears at the break. Bears going a little bit smaller as Roberts replaced Robinson. Grigg down the lane, gets it to go. A lot of contact.
Tough
I think
shot.
he wanted the and one. Doesn't get the foul call, but he does get the bucket, and it's a two-point game, 9-7. Cameron Roberts with it. Go back to Caden Anderson, lob inside to Birch. Birch spins, tries to get it out to Roberts, who had set up for the three, but by the time the pass got there, after it got knocked down, it was too late. Roberts will now shoot the three. Good-looking shot, but just a little strong, and Grigg comes down with it. That's Zach Grigg with the rebound, and Zach will bring it into the front court and set the offense. Caden Anderson defending him. Zach drives, cut off. Now back across the top. Anderson shadowing him well. Grigg goes down the lane, tied up, but he's fouled. Let's see who this goes on.
Now, Bear Lake will have to be really careful here not to let American Falls go on a run. They're bringing in a couple more guys that are going to be a little bit bigger, two more of their starters coming back into the game. If they can maintain the tenacity on defense that they've had, this will play out well for Bear Lake, but that would be something to be cautious of right now as well.
So Adamson and Hernandez back in. Tykert still out there with the ball goes in the backcourt. It's no problem. He can run it down. It does take some time off the shot clock by the time he gets back in the front court, but Adamson will set the offense. He'll hand it to Tykert. Tykert across the top. It goes to Hunter Grigg. Hunter down the lane, scoop it up, but score it. Bears kind of parted the seas for him there. I think they felt like he was going to go across the lane, so they set up their perimeter defense, and he just went down the middle, got the finger roll to go, and tied it up at 9. Saxon back up top to Anderson, now to Ewing, turnaround jumper from the foul line, in, out, and back in off the backboard, and the Bears regain the lead at 11-9. Bears have had the lead the entire game. American Falls has yet to take the lead, and that's not going to help, as the quick shot by Hernandez just a little short, and the high arc on the three-point miss hits the shot clock, and so is out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball with a 2-point lead when we're under 45 seconds here to go in the first quarter. And Anderson will go to Saxton. Saxton back to Anderson. Anderson to Ewing. Ewing in the corner to Saxton. Saxton gets called for the double dribble. He did. That ball came up a little higher than he expected it, and he turns it over.
Now, with American Falls being in this 2-3 zone, the prior play where Bear Lake scored, they scored up from the elbow. You can't ask for better offense than that when against the 2-3 zone, because it's going to start pulling them in. It's going to open up outside shots. It's a really good look that they've got there.
Adamson down the lane gets the easy bucket. With 22.5 seconds left, Coach Ward, after two plays in a row where the defense just fell asleep, calls a timeout. It's 11-11. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support Western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Bear Lake Sports are presented by Gary H. Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll. Mountain Valley Dental, creating healthy smiles for Bear Lake and beyond. Leonard Distributing, proud to support the Bears. Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Southeast Idaho Steel, locally produced steel sides and fixtures. Sampson's Island Grill at 253 South 4th Street. Ownership, new equipment, and new name.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in... Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds.
Sorry about the little mix-up there, but the Bears have the ball coming out of the timeout. 9 seconds left on the clock as Saxton drew the foul in the corner. It went on Hernandez. You mentioned can be foul prone, and he gets his second foul right here at the end of the first quarter. So he'll take a seat And the Bears will have the opportunity to get the last shot. Ewing will shoot the three. Yes, there's a U-save. Phillips 66 3-point shot. And the Bears will go into the second quarter with the 3-point lead at 14-11. Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll catch our breath. We'll come back for the second quarter right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Basketball on the SVI Sports Network.
Bears lead it by a score of 14-11 after the U-save Phillips 66 3-point shot by Tate Ewing as the quarter ended, and the Bears lead it by 3. Big story of the first quarter, not only the Bears leading, but Hernandez picking up a couple fouls. Like you said off the air, he's not only the tallest player, very athletic, so that hurts the American Falls Beavers not to have him out there. The Bears start the second quarter with the ball and the lead. Roberts, Anderson, Ewing, Birch, and Saxton on the court. Tykert, Wilkinson, Bolgen, Grigg, and Adamson out there for the Beavers. Roberts with the ball in three-point range. He'll bring it up top, reset the offense, and he'll go to Ewing at the top of the key. Ewing picked up there by Adamson. And over to Saxton. Saxton drives. Nice move down the lane. Shot up and in. Bears up by 5, 16-11. And Saxton showing the moves. That was a great move to get down the lane, get the bucket up and in.
Great conversion on a difficult shot.
Zach Grigg now with the three. It's no good. Rebound. And it's going to be Bear Lake ball as Bolgen and Ewing were both there. Bolgen caught it and carried it out of bounds, trying to secure the rebound. So the Bears have the ball and the 5-point lead, 16-11, here with 7:20 left in the first half. And we said pregame the Bears were primed to pull off an upset. As Ewing spins down the lane, draws a crowd, turns, misses, but he's called for the travel. He had drawn a crowd. He had some people to kick it to there, but drug his feet before he was able to get the shot off anyway. Grigg will bring the ball into the front court and set up the offense. Hands it to Bolgen. Bolgen across the top. He gets the backdoor cut. Nice play to Adamson. Bears recover, but Birch commits the foul. That was good help defense to come over and block the shot, but Birch is whistled for hitting him on the arm during the effort.
And this offense that American Falls is running on that play is a 4-out, and really that's what they're looking to do is spread that out, utilize their speed, and got a good back cut there. But as you mentioned, there was great help side defense that came over. Just happened to get him on the arm. Other than that, it was really great recovery on defense.
So that foul shot made there by Adamson breaks the third 5-0 run the Bears have had in this game. And every time the Bears have gone on a 5-0 run, the Beavers have been able to answer. Adamson gets one there and can't get the second, but the rebound is taken by Zach Grigg. Bears boxed out, but there was nobody to go get the ball. Bolgen fought through it and was able to tip the ball over to Grigg. Now we get a jump ball, and it will stay American Falls basketball. American Falls fans wanted a couple fouls on that play. Don't get either call that they wanted, and they do keep the ball on the alternate possession. 27 seconds on the shot clock, so plenty of time. And the baseline out of bounds of the blob play coming from Zach Grigg and the American Falls Beavers. Underneath their own hoop, it goes outside. And then the look to Murillo. He'll drive, spin, kick back to Grigg. Grigg down the lane, spinning, nothing there. He'll have to come back up top to Wilkinson. Wilkinson looking for some help. He'll go to Grigg out in three-point range. Now only 10 seconds on the shot clock. Grigg goes baseline. He's fouled. That may have been a good foul right there. He had beat Birch. Birch reaches in and fouls him as he drives past.
And you're right. I think it was a good foul. You know, the Bear Lake defense right now is just absolutely smothering. Zach is very quick. He was able to get around him, and that would have been a score. So I think that was a really great decision to commit that foul and be able to reset, keep it from getting a score.
The negative is it is the second foul on Birch. The inbound, nice pass from Grigg to Bolgen coming down the lane, and it's back to a two-point game at 16-14 as Bolgen gets the layup to go. This has been a streaky game. The Bears will go on a run, and then the American Falls Beavers answer. Saxton with it. He'll dribble across the top on Murillo. Kick it to Roberts. Roberts wanted to go inside to Ewing. Good defense there by Grigg to avoid that. Saxton will get the ball to Robinson up top. Robinson looking, goes cross court, and it's intercepted by Adamson. And he tries to run it, but great defense by the Bears to recover. And now Grigg will set it up. Murillo out 3-point range. Nice pass underneath to Bolgen. Ball's on the floor. Grigg jumps on it. It's still loose and recovered by the Beavers. And Murillo will hand it back to Zach Grigg. They'll reset with 17-second shot clock. Grigg down the lane. Saxton, great defense, and it goes into the hands of Ewing. Ewing will get it to Roberts, and Roberts smartly slows the ball up. And the Bears will set the offense with the 2-point lead at 5:35 left in the first half. Ewing with it on the wing in a low-scoring first half, just 16-14, as Roberts will go to Saxton. Saxton calling for some Ewing to come get the ball. He'll go cross-court to Robinson instead. Robinson loses it, and it goes out of bounds to Foya, who's been on the bench since early in the first quarter. Will check back in, replacing Cameron Roberts for the Bears.
And Robinson had a really great opportunity there, a really great lane that he could have gone down and had a wide open layup. Just happened to mishandle the ball and lost it.
The first dribble came back up a little bit harder than he expected, and it went out of bounds. Adamson over to Smith, who's checked back in. Touch pass from Grigg to Smith. He'll have to come back outside to Murillo. Murillo's going to drive. Tries to go inside. Tafoya will step in and take it away. Tafoya down the lane. Nice move. And he can't get the shot to go, but he ends up with his own rebound. Misses again. Ewing comes down, gets the rebound. He's fouled on the putback. So Tafoya had 2 point-blank looks, and you look at him down there, he's questioning how he missed those two.
And that second one wasn't necessarily his fault. An American Falls player did have a hand on that a little bit, just enough to alter the shot. But once again, we're seeing the second chance opportunities here playing such a big part of this game. And the pace of play, once again, you mentioned it's a low-scoring game. That has been really big in favor of the Bears.
And Ewing gets the first foul shot to go. It's now 17-14. Bears back in the lead by 3. Bears have not trailed in this game. We've had several ties, but the Bears have either been in the lead or tied the entire game, and that's the first time we've been able to say that in quite a while. This has been a fun game, fun back and forth as Ewing gets them both to go, and it's 18-14 in favor of Bear Lake. As Grigg will bring it into the front court, set the offense. He goes over to Bolgen on the perimeter. And now to Smith and back to Grigg. Grigg drives baseline. That first step of his is amazing. Gets it to Bolgen. It won't go. That was a good look. And now the Bears bring it into the front court with a chance to extend the lead. They got the 4-point advantage. They're trying to make it 6 or even 7 with the USAA Phil 66 3-point shot. As Ewing on the perimeter will hand to Saxton. The 3-point shot has also been a key to the game as the Bears have a couple makes and the Beavers yet to make one from distance. Saxton with his shot clock down to 11 tries to go inside to Robinson, knocked out of bounds by Smith.
I want to say that there was maybe one 3-pointer made from American Falls. I could be wrong on that.
Oh, yeah, you're correct. Murillo
right.
Just after he checked in.
That's right. Now, look, the Bears, like I said, they're playing absolutely tenacious on defense, but they've also had a level of physicality in this game that American Falls has not matched. American Falls made some runs, and I think they did it by being more tenacious, but they're still not matching the physicality of Bear Lake, and that's why Bear Lake is ahead.
And just as you say that exact same thing happened. At the end of the shot clock, Tate Ewing goes inside, muscles it up, gets the bucket to go to extend the lead to 6, and earns a trip back to the foul line. That foul will go on Bolgen, his first. Only the team's second of the quarter, but it sends Ewing to the foul line to potentially extend this to a 7-point game, which would be the big lead of the game for the Bears. And Ewing does complete the 3-point play, and it's 21-14. Bear Lake as we hit the halfway point of the second quarter. Quick 3-pointer on the way from Bolgen. Misses everything, and the rebound is stolen away, but still loose. Finally, Zach Grigg will get it. Bears had it temporarily, and Adamson with his quick hands knocked it away. And that, wow, American Falls has definitely an argument there as Hunter Grigg, I would believe, got fouled. But fortunately for American Falls, they got the rebound as Bolgen spins down the lane, and he'll go back outside Adamson. Adamson drive, foul line jumper, no good. Rebound taken by Saxton. Saxton quickly into the front court, and he'll go to Robinson. I think it was intended for Anderson. Robinson intercepted the pass. Then he tried to kick it to Anderson, and Hunter Grigg gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds, slows down the Bear Lake offense. But the Bears will still have the ball with a 27-second shot clock.
Now, I want to highlight something that the Bears are doing on defense. American Falls is getting great penetration, and they've scored a couple of times off of it, but the majority of the time, Bear Lake is clamping down with help side and not allowing those easy shots.
And Ewing got himself in the air, had no place to go with it. The ball is knocked away as he tries to go inside to Robinson, and here comes Grigg. The key to the game in American Falls that got the Beavers the advantage where they pulled away late in the game was exactly what you're talking about, that dribble penetration leading to the easy buckets, and the Bears have done a better job of stopping that dribble penetration on tonight's game.
And like we said, with the speed, that's something that you kind of have to game plan for, and so credits probably to the coaches for game planning for that and getting that help side offense, or help side defense.
So Anderson picked up the foul, and on the inbound, the easy bucket to Hernandez. That inbound play has got a couple of easy shots. The ball goes inside to Saxton, knocked away from him. Hunter Grigg comes away with it. He'll go all the way down and miss it, but he's fouled by Saxton. And he'll go to the line. No, they're saying it was before the shot. They're saying the foul happened before the shot. It'll be on the sideline. It's only the fourth foul of the period on the Bears. First foul on Saxton. So it'll be an inbound play baseline. Bears up by 5, 21-16, 2:47 left in the first half. Grigg not going to get the easy bucket inside this time. The Bears stop that, but he does get it into Tykert. Tykert will drive the lane, shoot it up over Saxton, in, and this time he gets the bucket and the foul. He'll go to the foul line with the chance for a three-point play. 2 fouls on Saxton in about 4 seconds of game time. And that is the 5th foul of the quarter, so the rest of the half, the Beavers will go to the foul line. Tykert completes the three-point play. Timeout taken by the Beavers. It's a 30. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the SBI Sports Network.
Here's more from Jared and Lisa with live coverage of Bear Lake Bears basketball on the SVI Sports Network.
Talk about streaky basketball. The Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard shows the Bears up by just 2 at 21-19. Each time the Bears have gone on a run and extended the lead 5, 6, 7 points as they've done. The American Falls Beavers have gone on a run of their own and fought right back into it. And a quick foul on the inbound called on Tykert. Only the third team foul. His first. So the Bears lead it by 2. They've led it the entire first half, and an opportunity in that. And they get it into Tafoya. It's knocked away from him, out of bounds. It will be Beaver basketball. So the double team came on Tafoya. He lost it out of bounds. And the Beavers have forced 3 turnovers in a row and have a chance to tie or take the lead here, as the Bears went up by 7 and haven't been able to convert since. Tykert down the lane, kicks it to Adamson. Adamson for 3. It's short. A rebound to Ewing. Bears run. Grigg stops Ewing in the backcourt and forces another turnover. 4th turnover in a row for the Bears. They took that 7-point lead, but haven't even taken a shot since then that I remember. And Grigg will bring the ball into the front court with the Beavers a chance again to tie it back up and or take the lead with 2:25 left.
And when we look at the foul situation, right now Bears have committed 5, so the Beavers would be shooting on fouls. The Beavers are not there yet, and so it's allowing them to play a little bit more aggressive and go after some of these and create turnovers.
Grigg goes down the line, reverse layup's no good. Adamson on the rebound, it's no good. Foul on the putback. I'm not sure if it's on the Bears. It is. They foul Adamson. He goes up for the putback. He'll go to the line with a chance to tie it up at the foul line.
Now, once again, I'll highlight Callan Hernandez is back in the game right now, close to the second half. He needs to be careful, right, because that would be a 3rd foul if he picks up another foul. But as I mentioned, given the foul situation with the bonus, American Falls is able to play a little bit more aggressive right now and get away with it. But Callan will have to be careful. That would be a very big thing if the Bears could get him his 3rd foul.
The 2 foul shots are no good, but the hustle play and the rebound by Hunter Grigg over in the corner. So second chance opportunity after 2 missed foul shots is Zach Grigg kicks it to Adamson. Adamson drives baseline, and the three-point play opportunity as Zach Grigg gets it to go, and that is the 3rd foul in the last less than 1 minute of game time called on Saxton, as Grigg will go to the line with a chance to give the Beavers their first lead of the game at 22. It's 21-21 right now on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Grigg's foul shot is good. Saxton gets the rebound, and he is fouled, I believe.
I believe that Hunter Grigg, as he was going for the ball, caught him kind of almost a slap upside the face on that. Some incidental contact, but a foul nonetheless.
And then Hunter Grigg proceeds to knock the inbound pass out of bounds. It'll still be Bear Lake basketball. Roberts checked back in the game to put Saxton on the bench with those 3 fouls, joining Birch with his 2 fouls as the Bears being careful, trying to avoid. And Hunter Grigg comes up with the steal, and then what a block from
Very
behind.
impressive block.
Tafoya blocks the shot, and Grigg hit the ground, was laying out of bounds when the ball came down, landed on his legs, and a 30-second timeout being taken by Coach Trevor Ward for the Bears. We'll keep it right here as we just took a break, and we got only a couple minutes before halftime. And let's thank some of our sponsors. Gunderson's, I can talk, I promise. Gunderson's Ace Hardware, Ace, the helpful place located in Montpelier. Napa Auto Parts, that's Napa Know-How. Northern Title, good deeds done daily. Visit them at northerntitle.net. Bear Lake Drug and Drugstore, and a great deal more. Simplot, committed to safety for their Bear Lake Valley employees and their families. Visit simplot.com. Don't forget Gary H. Tusher, CPA, Lenhart Distributing, Flying S title. Southeast Idaho Steel, who also presents our Steel Man of the Game. So, Andrew, keep that in mind as we go. Looking for the Bear Lake Bears Steel Man of the Game. And Mountain Valley Dental for all your dental care. They cleaned my teeth the other day, so
there you go.
Thank you to Mountain Valley Dental.
Now, I know that Grigg was wanting a foul on that. From our angle, I felt like it looked like a clean block. I think the contact of the Bear Lake player having the ball is what brought Grigg down to the ground. I know it's hard. You want fouls on that, but it looked like a good clean block from me.
Ewing spins down the lane, goes to Tafoya. Tafoya for 3, no. And the rebound goes to Bolgen. He is fouled right there. And that's a frustration by Ewing. Frustration foul there, and he turned around, was upset at the call, and then looked at the official, said, no, that's on me. That's a good call. Ewing's first.
And you know, that's credit to Ewing. Not a lot of players, not a lot of adults even, can keep that kind of head when they're so emotional, when there's a lot going on. For him to be able to turn to the ref and say, no, I was out of line, a big credit to him.
Bolgen gets the foul shot to go, and there we go. That is the first time in this game that the American Falls Beavers have led. 22-21, that's kind of ironic because that's the first lead of the game last night for Marsh Valley over the Bear Lake Girls. Bear Lake Girls pulled away after that, so we'll see if that happens tonight, if the Bear Lake Bears can come back. Bolgen gets them both to go, and the 2-point lead as Tafoya brings the ball into the front court all the way down the lane, stops, shoots, misses, good look, but it just hard off the back of the iron. Rebound to Bolgen, and with 1:26 left, American Falls, with their first lead of the game, looks to build on it, up by 2. Backdoor cut, not there. Bolgen stopped. Grigg thought he was going to go, and the Bears get the turnover. Tate Ewing, that's one of the easiest steals you're going to get when they throw you the ball right to your hands.
Yeah, and that's hard from an offensive perspective. You know, a coach, you're saying, look, if you're going to go, go, because that will happen a lot of times if you stop and come back.
Ewing driving down the lane, kind of loses the handle on it, but he spins. He'll get in the corner. Tafoya, open look for 3. No, in and out. And Ewing will send Bolgen to the foul line at the other end. Fouls becoming an issue for the Bears. Not too many people in foul trouble other than Saxton with his 3, but it's everybody getting fouls, and so the Beavers are marching to the foul line.
But earlier in the game, I mentioned that, you know, going against these defenses, being able to convert in the paint, right? Controlling the paint, that's big. We saw that there. Everybody sucked in to try and keep him from scoring. We got to kick out to the corner. Didn't convert on the 3-point shot, but that's the kind of offense that you get looking for and the open looks that you want.
Bolgen makes the first. That's 3 in a row for him. He has a chance to extend it to a game-high 4 points, and does. The other change that the Beavers have adopted during this run, where they've taken the lead now, is they are putting some full court pressure on the Bears, and it's affecting the Bears offensively. Anderson goes over to Ewing. Ewing inside Robinson with the nice move and the layup. That's the first points in quite a while. The Beavers were on an 11-0 run. Robinson with the pump fake and the reverse layup to cut it to a 2-point game at 25-23. About a 2.5-second difference between game clock and shot clock, and Grigg is acting like he's going to try to run it down. He's out there against Anderson. Anderson comes up with the steal down the lane, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. He'll shoot two. Anderson picks his pocket, can't get the finish, but he has a chance to tie it back up at the foul line, and that was one of those things that Grigg was just trying to kill some clock before he started running the play. Anderson, with a tenacious defense, picks his pocket.
And Coach Grigg is not happy with his son on that one. He really lit into him and let him know he wasn't happy with what had happened.
Anderson's first foul shot rattles home. It's a 1-point game with 19.2 seconds left till halftime. 25-24 on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. And we're tied up at 25 after Anderson gets them both. Grigg will walk in the front court. Now the Beavers will work for the final shot. Try to go into the halftime locker room with the lead in this very streaky first half. Hunter Grigg drives, throws it back outside. It's going to be a turnover. The Bears will have it right there. Maybe Tykert lets that roll, take some more time off the clock, because then it would have been Bears ball baseline, but maybe with 2 seconds instead of almost 7.
Right, and that's a hard one. You know, you get down that deep as a point guard and you stop, there's not a whole lot of options for you.
So Anderson will bring the ball across half court. The Bears only have 5 seconds to get a shot up. Anderson's going to drive and make it at the buzzer. The Bears end the quarter on a 6-0 run. They were down by 5 at 25-21. They score the final 6 points of the half, and they'll go into halftime with the lead over the American Falls Beavers by a score 27-25. What a finish. Anderson gets the steal, 2 points at the foul line, and then he drives down the lane. I thought he was unaware of the clock. He was kind of acting too casual. It also, I think, lulled American Falls to sleep. He drives the lane, puts the teardrop up. The teardrop fell, and the Bears lead it by 2 as we go to halftime. We're going to keep it right here because it is time for senior night for the Bear Lake High School cheerleaders. I'm going to do double duty. I'm going to keep the microphone on, and I'm also going to turn on the overhead mic on the PA and introduce the senior cheerleaders here on their senior night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for senior night. Let's honor our Bear Lake High School cheerleaders. First one out tonight is Ellie Smith. With her parents, Danielle and Casey, she has been cheering since the 7th grade. Her plans are to serve a mission. She has been called to serve in the San Bernardino, California mission. When she returns, she wants to go to ISU and become a nail tech. She would like to thank her mom for always supporting me, and my best friend Sammy for being by my side no matter what happened. Her favorite memory, my sophomore year when my sister was driving me and other freshman cheerleaders around and said, "Crank that AC, brother, it's hotter than Kenny Wells in here." Congratulations to senior Ellie Smith. All right, Brielle Clark. With her mom and dad, Sean and Micheline Clark, she's been cheering for 3 years. Her plans after high school: go to BYU-I and become a recreational therapist. She would like to thank her parents and her sister Brookley for listening to me complain, Stella and Coach for picking me up every morning, and my teammates for the memories, but not Kennedy. She would like to say her favorite memory is when Stella bought a slightly inappropriate dress at girls' state basketball, and Coach / Stella's mom searched the hotel room because she was positive that she got a tongue piercing. Congratulations to senior Brielle Clark. And finally, senior Stella Early. With her dad and mom, Brent, and Coach Jesse Early, she's been cheering for 5 years. She plans to move to Ontario, Oregon after high school and go to electrician school. She would like to thank everyone, especially the band, for always cheering along. And her favorite memory was winning district champs in her sophomore year and going to cheer state all 4 years of high school. Congratulations to Stella Early. And congratulations to all 3 of our senior cheerleaders. All right, so for those of you watching, we're going to take a break on the SVI Sports Network. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll catch our breath. I think Lisa will text me some stats, and we'll come back with that right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
I'm John Pym, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, DO. Interacting with wonderful people every day, being able to maybe make a small impact in their lives for good. I don't think that life gets any better than that. I am really excited to be here practicing in Bear Lake and be a good source for you and your family to take care of your healthcare needs.
Discover your future with Simplot, where a multitude of career opportunities await. Whether you're interested in mining, agriculture, engineering, technology, manufacturing, management, or a number of additional options, Simplot offers not just a job, but a truly satisfying and rewarding career. Explore our diverse range of positions and find where you belong. Visit Simplot.com to view available positions locally and across the United States. That's Simplot.com, a world of career opportunities.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
My name is Benjamin Bozen. I am a family medicine physician. I really enjoy providing care to the whole family, from newborns to elderly care. I like athletes and sports medicine, and then I also do osteopathic manipulative therapy, which is a hands-on treatment. My ultimate goal is to be your advocate and to help you have the best life that you can have, to help you achieve your goals.
And now, back to the game with more live coverage of Bears basketball on the SVI Sports Network.
All right, welcome back to halftime. This has been a fun one. You said off the air, this is the funnest you've had in a long time in a basketball game. You coached for the last 3 years, and it's a different view of the game when you're coaching compared to sitting up here. But you still get to be involved when you put the headset on because you're more focused on it than you are kind of as a fan.
Right. Yeah, it's a different perspective for sure. I mentioned to you, you get to be involved in the game. You get to see a lot that's happening. You don't necessarily have the stresses of the game quite the same. But it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me to come and be part of this.
No, thank you for filling in. It just was a chance opportunity. You sat down by me and said, hey, put the headset on, and you didn't say no. Maybe you'll do that again.
Yeah.
So scoring in the first half, pretty balanced scoring for American Falls. Bolgen led the way with 8. Adamson had 5. Hunter Grigg with 4. Hernandez with 2. I think the story, and Tykert with 3. Murillo with 3. I think the story for me might be Zach Grigg with 0.
Yeah, and with American Falls, there's a lot of different ways to get points on the board. What's always impressed me with Zach Grigg is his ability to affect the game in a lot of different ways. However, that being said, if one of your, and probably your leader on the court, is not putting points on the board, it's going to be hard for the rest of the team because that's a lot. And like I said, he affects the game in a lot of different ways, with assists and rebounds and defense. But you still have to have that contribution to some degree on the offensive side.
Absolutely. So field goals, and this is unofficial, but Lisa has the American Falls team 9 out of 27 in the game, 33%. 8 out of 17, 47% for 2. That's about where you expect a team to be. Here's the stat for me that's much different than American Falls. 1 out of 10 from 3. And Murillo had that 3 in the first quarter. And American Falls did not hit another USA Phil 66 three-point game, three-point shot in the rest of the half. 1 out of 10 in the first half from there, and they are a much better shooting team than that.
Yeah, and when they shoot like they normally do, they're one of the better shooting teams in the state. When American Falls went to Soda Springs and played, and Soda Springs is a good team, American Falls shot probably the best they've shot all year, and they absolutely ran Soda Springs out of their own gym doing that. They're not having that kind of night. For Bear Lake, They have allowed more second points chances to American Falls than I think I would have expected if you would have told me that they were going to be up by 2. But credit to them and their defense. They have absolutely stifled American Falls, and probably a good chance at why they're just off their game with shooting.
You mentioned second chance points. That was the next stat I was going to throw out there. They have 14 rebounds in the game, but 10 of those are on the offensive side.
Right.
You very rarely see that kind of misbalance. You see that all the time, 10-4, but it's usually 10 defensive to 4 offensive, because the defensive position usually gives you the advantage in the rebounding, but not tonight. The Beavers with 10 offensive rebounds. We thought that would be a key for the Bears. It's been a key for the Beavers.
Right. And on the flip side, looking at the offensive rotations and capabilities where the Bears have been scoring their points, they have hit from a lot of different places. They have had threes going down, but they've shot from free throw extended range. They've scored in the post. They've got little drops down low where they've been able to score. They have hit and converted everywhere that they needed to, and I don't know that you could have asked for a much better half out of the Bear Lake Bears. They are here leading the number 4 team in the state, and they've done it because they have refused to back down in pretty much every aspect of the game.
You mentioned shooting, 10 out of 19, 52% overall in the game for the Bears, 66%, 8 out of 12 from 2, 2 out of 7 from 3, 28%. That's not great, but that's a lot better than 1 out of 10, which is what American Falls is shooting. 5 out of 6 from the foul line. I think American Falls was 4 out of 6, so basically the same there. That one's kind of a push. It's that three-point shot that's the difference in the game.
Right. Now go ahead.
Rebounding, we talked about Bears needing second chance points, only 4 offensive rebounds to American Falls 10.
I was going to say, now going into the second half, these first 4 minutes of the second half are going to be critical for either team. Usually as the middle 8 minutes of a game go, you can pretty much determine who is going to come ahead at the end. Right now, for me, it's about a dead even split. They have both fought hard, but watch and see how both teams react coming out of this break, because there's a good chance that whoever comes out playing hard and making those little things happen will be the team that has the chance at putting this away at the end.
About the only other storyline from the first half, 2 fouls on Birch and 2 fouls on Hernandez for the Beavers. Saxon also with 3 fouls, and Birch actually has 3, not just 2. Bears will start the second half with the ball, and the officials just came out of the locker room. They must not have heard the warning buzzer, because they're just trotting out. Both teams are out there ready to go. Now the officials are out there ready to go. Bears will start with Tafoya, Anderson, Robinson, Ewing, and Birch the way they started. Same thing for the Beavers. They got Bolgen, Grigg, Robinson. No, they've got to change. They got Murillo out there with Hernandez. So the Beavers make a little bit of change. They put Murillo out there. Hernandez guarding closely on Robinson, forces the cross-court pass. Anderson with it now. The Bears reset to Tafoya. Back up top to Anderson, over to Ewing, who had a good first half. And back to Tafoya. I forgot to talk about the scoring for the Bears in the first half. We talked about the rebounding. As Birch goes inside with it, he's blocked. He goes out to Robinson, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Robinson makes the baseline jumper, 15-footer to put the Bears up by 4, 29-25. Hernandez down the lane, can't get to go. Bolgen with the putback. What a putback. Kind of alley-ooped it off the board, didn't even hit the floor, and gets the bucket to go. So Bolgen with a quick bucket. In that first half, leading scorer for the Bears was Ewing with 12. Anderson had 7, including those 4 big ones right at the end of the half to give the Bears that 2-point lead going into halftime, which they still have at 29-27. Birch, foul line jumper, misses. A good look, hit the front of the rim, back of the rim, and out. Bolgen with another rebound. And here come the Beavers with a chance to tie it up or take the lead. Grigg will drive on Anderson. That's a big foul. If it goes on Anderson, I think that's his 3rd, and it does.
Now, it's interesting. American Falls has changed their defensive set on this side, and I don't know that the Bears are quite knowing what to do with it. And so you're seeing a little bit more, I don't know if I'd call it hero ball, but they're not quite sure what to do with it offensively. And so we're seeing not the best shot selection in the past, series or two. But it's almost like it's very a loose zone, and they're kind of matching up and really moving and adjusting into different positions.
First foul shot for Grigg is good. Second foul shot, his first 2 points of the game, tie it up. We're tied at 29. So you've watched a lot of basketball, obviously, as a coach. Have you seen a more streaky game? where one team will get 6-8 points in a row, then the other team says, I can do the same, and there's 6 points in a row. No, Bolgen misses after getting the steal, and Ewing clears up the rebound. That was just a little bit of help defense, doesn't get the block, but affects the shot. Bolgen doesn't make it, and the Bears have the chance to retake the lead. But neither team can really sustain a streak as Ewing, foul line jumper, leaves it short. Birch with the offensive board, put back, no good. Ewing with the offensive board, down the lane, and good. Nice follow there by Ewing, and quickly up ahead, Murillo is going to kick it back out to Adamson. Adamson drives, cut off. He'll go back up to top to Murillo, now to Bolgen. Bolgen drives, gets down the lane to Hernandez. What a pass, what a shot. We're tied at 31.
You mentioned, a game of streaks, and that's what I would always say is basketball is a game of runs. It's not about if it'll happen. It's not about when it will happen. It's about how your team reacts when you've been run on and if you can come back. And so far, that's what we've seen. Both of these teams go after it, and they're making runs on each other, and that's why it's such a tight game and so fun to watch.
Talk about hustle. Right there, Anderson forces the turnover, and the ball goes out of bounds. Anderson tipped it as they were diving for it. It is Bear Lake basketball, and so Bears will have it after the turnover. Checking into the game right now is Rose getting his first action, and Hernandez, I believe, went out. And then the Bears commit the travel and turn it right back over. So the Beavers with a chance to retake the lead right here. The biggest lead of the game for the Beavers has been 4. The Bears' big lead of the game was 7 at 21-14. But
now, Rose is young, but I think the one thing that he does bring is a physicality aspect to this, and maybe that's why they've got him in here right now, to help increase that physicality for American Falls.
Reverse layup by Murillo, no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to line. He'll shoot 2. We'll see who that's on. It's on Tafoya, and so that is his first. Yeah. Only the second foul of the second half. Murillo's foul shot is good. He's got 4 points on the night. Saxton and his 3 fouls will check in, replacing Tafoya, replacing Robinson. Bears go small.
Now, Fred Murillo's a really great story for young kids. He did not play very much basketball growing up in middle school. As a freshman, that's really the first time he played, and he was relentless in what he was doing.
So the second foul shot by Murillo is no good. Rebound and put back by Rose was no good. Rebound by Ewing is knocked out of bounds. It'll be Bears basketball. So the Bears trailing by 1, but with a chance to retake the lead right here, 32-31, as Anderson brings it in the front court. Birch will dribble. He'll go to Saxton. Saxton, foul line jumper, no. I think Bolgen twisted an ankle there. He came up hobbling, and he's still hobbling. They're going to call a timeout, let him come to the bench. Hope he's okay. That was a non-contact injury.
That was. He closed out on the shooter and just kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit. Sometimes those can be the most scary, the non-contact ones.
So he limps himself straight back to the locker room, and Tykert will check into it for him. Hope he's okay. He's the leading scorer in the first half for the Beavers. Beavers have the basketball and the 1-point lead. Adamson drives, baseline cut off there. He'll come across the top, stop, and go to kick it to Murillo. Murillo to Grigg. Grigg with that quick first step goes baseline. Anderson cuts him off. Up top to Rose. Rose will drive. He's cut off. And now it's back up to Tykert. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now with Grigg on the perimeter. He'll drive all the way down the lane. That's quick first step.
That is. And the cutoff was there. He happened to be able to just split that perfectly. So the defensive help was there, just not quite enough to close it off to him.
I think that first step is so quick it's deceiving. He showed it in football, and he's showing it on the basketball court, and he gives the Beavers a 3-point lead. Their big lead of the game is 4. They are up by 3 right now, 34-31. We are almost 4 minutes into the second half. You talk about the middle 8. It was pretty even, as the Beavers do have the 3-point lead. Anderson shot on the baseline, no good, but Tafoya will rebound and put it back. So the Bears down only by 1 point. Quick outlet, Tykert, no good, and Tafoya with the rebound. So the quick offense doesn't convert, and the Bears have a chance to retake the lead. Over to Anderson, open from 3. He'll take it, leaves it short, rebound to Tykert. He goes to the floor to get it, and Grigg will bring the ball in the front court. So both teams, early offense, don't convert. Good looks on both ends. but now the Beavers will set it up, try to extend their 1-point lead at 34-33. Adamson for three. That goes. That's a USAA Phillips 66 three-point make. The first since early in the game for the Beavers. They're tied for their biggest lead of the game at 4, 37-33 as we go to 3:15 left in the third quarter on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Lob inside to Birch. He'll go up and in. Nice pass from Tafoya. Nice finish from Birch. Back to a 2-point game. Bears refusing to go away. Grigg down the lane. That's perfect offense for Grigg. He knows Anderson has 3 fouls. He knows Anderson is so important to the Bear Lake Bears offense as he's the main ball handler. And that first step just drew the foul.
Yeah, incredible heads-up play on Griggs to be able to go right at him like that, knowing that if he can get Anderson into that fourth foul, that's going to severely limit a lot of what Bear Lake does.
So Anderson will check out. Roberts will check in for him. And the baseline inbound play. The Bears defend that quick hitter that the Beavers have used. Nearly a 5-second call, but Grigg now with it in the corner. He'll go up top to Rose. Timeout taken by Coach Stephen Grigg. It's a 60. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I grew up in Provo, Utah, played football at BYU, medical school at the University of Utah, then did my residency at the Family Medicine Residency of Idaho, and then after residency came here. I love the beauty, the place geographically here. I love the people, and I love that there's a certain type of get-it-done person that lives here and thrives here. Really any sports me and my family love. Jet skiing, being on the lake, ATVs, power sports, that kind of stuff. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
And now, back to the game with more live coverage of Bears basketball on the SVI Sports Network.
If you're the Bear Lake Bears, you got to love where you are. You were a 14, 16-point underdog in this game, only down by 2, getting late in the third quarter. Beavers do have the ball on their own baseline. There's the quick hitter. That has cost a lot of points in the last 2 games on that inbound play, as Adamson gets 5 in a row after he made the 3-point shot a minute ago. He gets the inbound and the bucket there. Saxton looking inside for Birch. He'll instead go cross court to Tafoya. Tafoya drives on Hunter Grigg. Up, no good. Rebound. Birch will throw it off of Rose, but Rose is able to control it. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
And the Beavers come away with the rebound. And then the pass is intended cross court for Grigg. Rose tried to catch it. It goes off of his hands out of bounds. Turnover Beavers. And you can kind of see a little bit of frustration with the Beavers now. They expected, I think, a lot easier game than they're getting tonight. And they're still playing well, but I think they're getting a little bit frustrated that the score is as close as it is. Ewing up top. He'll go around the screen from Birch, spin, go down the lane. Nice defense there. Adamson takes it away, and the Beavers come the other way. Good transition defense from the Bears. Adamson shoots the 3. You said off the air he's a streaky shooter. You don't want him to get hot, and he just got hot. That's his second 3 in a row and 8 points in the last couple minutes, and a 7-point lead, which is the big lead of the game for the American Falls Beavers, and that causes Coach Trevor Ward to take a quick timeout. We'll keep it right here and thank some of our sponsors.
And I think that was a smart decision by Coach Ward to call that timeout, because once again, a lot of different things can cause you to break up that hot streak. So if that helps, that's going to be big for the Bears.
Thank you, Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare. Count on us to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. They sponsor our scoreboard tonight and every night. You say Phillips 66 live to the full, where your convenience is our pleasure. 2 Phillips 66 3-point shots in a row back-to-back for Adamson's been the difference in this game, going from a back-and-forth game to now a 7-point lead for the Beavers. So the USA Phillips 66 3-point line, a big one. Gunderson's Ace Hardware, Ace, the helpful place, located in Montpelier. Napa Auto Parts, that's Napa Know-How. Northern Title, good deeds done daily. Visit them at northerntitle.net. Bear Lake Drug and Drugstore and a great deal more. If you're like Lisa and you don't have a voice right, excuse me right now as I start coughing, go see Casey Humphreys and the guys at Bear Lake Drug. They'll help you out. Simplot, committed to safety for their Bear Lake Valley employees and their families. Visit simplot.com. Gary H. Tusher, CPA, Lenhart Distributing, Flying S Title, Southeast Idaho Steel, and Mountain Valley Dental. And don't forget, our Steel Man of the Game, sponsored by Southeast Idaho Steel. They make those steel signs. They do wood engraving as well. Contact the Crockett's at Southeast Idaho Steel. Saxton, nice pass inside by Birch. That's what you want if you're the Bears.
Great
Come out of
seal
the
by
timeout.
Birch.
And Birch gets the bucket after the Tafoya pass. Grigg right down the lane. That's why he's dangerous. Again, it's that first step. He doesn't need much space. Needs about an inch, and he's going to make you pay for it. Zach Grigg with another 2 points. He was held scoreless in the first half. He's got at least 6 here. And now foul underneath away from the ball.
And now, Jared, you've talked a lot about the Bears needing to put together a complete game. We've also talked about it being, the game of run and streaks. Right now, the Beavers have managed to pull ahead just a little bit. Right now, if the Bears will respond, it will keep them in the game. If not, this is what could potentially sink them for the game. And so right now, they need to respond and make this happen.
So a foul on the inbound goes on Rose. That's the second foul in as many seconds. He's the one that committed the foul away from the ball. He commits the foul right there on the inbound. And the Bears fans reacted like that was a hard foul. It really wasn't. He was going for the ball. Birch was going for the ball. Birch just gets the worst end of it. The foul was whistled, and the Bears have the basketball. Second foul of the quarter. The ball comes into Roberts, and Roberts will come over to Saxton on the wing. Saxton with a nice dribble drive. Tykert, though, able to recover, cut him off. Now over to Tafoya. Tafoya drives, shoots, about 12-footer, no good, and the rebound to Zach Grigg. That was a good look for the Bears.
It was.
It just doesn't go. Grigg in the corner. Adamson can't let him lose for 3. They don't, but he gets it down the lane.
And this is hard for Birch because, remember, he's playing with some fouls right now. He cannot pick up that foul, and so he's kind of got to let him go at that point.
And that was just the 3-point makes that he's had back-to-back is what led to that 2-point bucket as Ewing closed out on him, and Adamson was able to get the step and drive to the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 points in the last couple minutes for him, and the lead is now to 9 at 46-37. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll still be Bear Lake basketball. 23-second shot clock as they inbound on the baseline to Birch. Birch will come back to Saxton, and now in the corner, Roberts fakes the 3. And Rose cuts off Roberts, and they say out of bounds off of Roberts, and it will be Beaver basketball. Robinson will check in. Let's see who he replaces.
And this is going to be big for the Bears. And I say that kind of tongue in cheek. We're getting a bit more of a larger lineup now with Robinson coming back in.
And the Bears need to use their size advantage right now. Roberts, Tafoya, Birch, Ewing, and Robinson. Grigg. Go ahead.
Having him down there to kind of help that penetration that's happened the last few plays, like I said, it will be big on those defensive rotations for the Bears.
And Birch comes over with the steal, gets it to Tafoya. Tafoya tries to dribble through the double team and ends up getting it stolen right back. Now in the corner it goes to Tykert. He'll loop it up top to Grigg. Grigg over to Adamson. Adamson for 3. No. And Birch will get the rebound. And this time the Bears, no, Grigg nearly had the steal again, as kind of some lazy passes for the Bears on these last 2 rebounds. One led to a turnover. That one almost led to another turnover. Tafoya with the ball. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Bears looking to cut into this 9-point Beaver lead. Bears led it by 2 coming out of half. Beavers lead it by 9 right now. Ewing will elevate from 3. Yes! At the buzzer. The USAV Phillips 66 3-point make at the buzzer. Tate Ewing for 3, and it's a 6-point game headed into the fourth quarter. We'll have that fourth quarter for you in 30 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
Go here, go there, go anywhere with Phillips 66.
Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Your home for live coverage of Bear Lake sports is the SVI Sports Network.
That USAV Phillips 66 3-point bucket right at the third quarter buzzer by Tate Ewing was big. If the Bears come back and win this game, we could maybe go back to that play and say that's the play of the game. Lisa just texted me that play right there gives Ewing 17 points on the night. Early candidate and a main candidate at this point for the Southeast Idaho Steel man of the game, Tate Ewing. Momentum-wise, that was huge.
It was, and I really feel like American Falls had a lot of the momentum until that shot happened. Being able to come into the final quarter with something like that, being able to ride that is huge for the Bears.
So the American Falls Beavers have the ball, and Zach Grigg, as he brings in the front court, saying, hey, guys, let's calm down. Let's just do this and finish it off. Quick hitter to Wilkinson. He missed it. Tip-in is no good. Rebound to Robinson. So the Bears get the stop. Ewing gets double-teamed. He'll get it out to Tafoya, and the Bears are able to settle into their offense. Cross-court to Anderson. Anderson back in the game. He's got those 4 fouls. He's out for the end of the third quarter. His pass is high. Robinson can't bring it down. Adamson the other way and gets it to go. He just muscled it up against Robinson, and Robinson kind of lost his balance. Adamson able to keep his and push it back to an 8-point game at 48-40. Cross court in the corner. Tafoya back up top to Anderson on the wing. He's looking for Ewing on the cross court. Ewing back to Anderson. Anderson pump fakes the pass, drives. He'll kick back out to Ewing. Ewing with another 3 on the way. Yes, 2 in a row. You say Phillips 66 3-point make. Ewing with 20 points on the night. 48-43. Zach Griggle saying, I can shoot a 3. Whoa. Right from the top of the key. Nothing but the bottom of the net. What a shot by Grigg.
And you cannot fall off of any of these players on American Falls. He stopped with the ball. They were expecting a pass, and he shot it. You just cannot do that with pretty much any of these players.
So 1 out of 10 from the 3 in the first half, but in the second half, they've got red hot from the 3-point line. You say Phillips 66, live to the full where your convenience is our pleasure. Adamson with 15, Ewing with 20 for the Bears. They're the leading scorers on the court. Pass goes inside to Ewing, and he is blocked as his shot. It hits the bottom of the backboard. Hernandez knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Bear League basketball on the baseline. 6-second shot clock. Bears have got to hustle one up right here as the defense has stymied the Bears on this possession. Comes into Robinson. Robinson to Ewing. Ewing tries to chuck it up. No good. And I don't know if you call that a pass shot, block shot, what it was.
Almost looked like he was trying to draw a foul to me. It's hard in those because they know that you're trying to get something up.
And on the other end, Grigg does draw the foul. He was kind of in trouble there, and he did the exact same thing. Just tried to do something. Got himself to the foul line, and he'll shoot 2 with the chance to give the Beavers their first double-digit lead of the game. They've never led by more than 8, which is their lead now. Grigg leaves the first one short. He'll have one more. Murillo checking back in for Adamson. That may be good news for the Bears as Adamson had the hot hand in that third quarter.
Yeah.
So Grigg, who's had also a good second half, to the foul line. Second one, no good again. And Ewing with the rebound. And there was a foul before the ball even came off.
Pretty uncommon for Grigg to miss both of those, and I think that's kind of the storyline for the American Falls Beavers tonight is they are just off their game. And once again, I think I credited it a lot to the tenacity and the physicality that the Bears have come out with all game long, and they're continuing that. Hopefully they keep that trend going and they complete a full game like you've mentioned.
So Saxon checks in for Robinson after that foul on the rebound. It went on Wilkinson. That is his first foul of the game, first foul of the quarter. Both teams only have 1 foul. As Tafoya down the lane, kicks it to Anderson. Anderson for 3. Oh, looked good from here. We had a good angle at it, and I thought it was going to go. It rims out. Grigg with the rebound, quickly up ahead to Bolgen. He misses. But that's good news for the Beavers. He went to the locker room with that bad ankle. I'm glad to see him back out there. He misses the 3. Rebound by the Bears. Tate Ewing had the 3 if he wanted it. He pulls it back out, and Grigg almost steals the pass. And now Tafoya's pass is taken away inside.
And I think that's a little concerning to me. Tate was open. He should have shot that.
He's had a couple 3-point makes. He was
right.
open. I agree with you.
You want your players to take that shot when they're open, especially like a player like him.
Foul number 4 on Jaden Saxton as he'll send Hernandez to the foul line. Hernandez has been quiet tonight. He got that early foul trouble, and the Bears have really kept him quiet. He'll have a chance to put up a couple points on the board right here from the foul line. for the Beavers in a tight one, much tighter than most people expected. It's now a 9-point game as he makes the first, 52-43 with 5:08 left. And this has been a battle. It's been a fun game to watch.
It has.
Hernandez will have one more. And he gets it to go. And checking into the game will be Smith, replacing Hernandez. And you look at these players on the court, and to a player, they're tired. They're taking advantage of those times during the foul shots to try to catch their breath on both teams. They're working hard.
And that, once again, that's the physicality and the defense that has been played in this game. It has been relentless on both sides.
Tafoya with the handoff to Saxton. Saxton will go to Anderson. Anderson down the lane in the corner. Tafoya, 3 on the way. Yeah, that's good. There's a U-Saves Phillips 66 3-point make, and the Bears have cut the lead back to just 6.
And
they
a
are
very
in
big
this
shot.
game.
They needed that one.
They did. Live to the full with Phillips U-Save. Phillips 66 U-Save. Grigg does not answer this time, and Birch with a big rebound. If he would, but then Bolgen steals it away. Doesn't get it to go. Anderson will come away with it. So the Bears dodge a bullet. And Saxton down the lane. Nice pass to Birch. No good. Put back by Ewing is good. Bears have cut it to 4, 52-48. Big.
The Bears dodged a double bullet down here because if Birch would have picked up a foul and easily could have, that would have been bad. But also having that miss and coming the other way and score was huge.
Bolgen misses the 3, and a rebound foul on the Beavers. And that goes on Bolgen. It's only his second, team third, but all of a sudden the Beavers had the chance at the foul line to make it a double-digit game, and now here we are with 4 minutes left in a 4-point game, and the Bear Lake Bears have the ball. Anderson comes across the center court line. He'll go to Ewing straight away. Ewing with 22 points on the night. Big night for him. Now to Tafoya. Tafoya to Saxton. Saxton drives across the top. He's cut off. He'll kick it to Anderson. Anderson, Tafoya fakes the 3, goes to Anderson. Now to Ewing. Ewing looking inside to Birch. Can't find him, so he'll dribble drive. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it to Tafoya. Now down to 5. Tafoya, I don't know if he knows the time. Saxton does, shoots it. Doesn't get any rim, so it's a shot clock violation. That was just a matter of, I don't think the Bears were aware of the shot clock situation. And Saxton did chuck it up, but there was a defender in his face, and so he's unable to get a good look at it, and it becomes a turnover.
And I think, the Bears' offense was a little stagnant on that. I think it's maybe back to what you were saying about these guys are looking a little more gassed, and so it's going to be hard, and that's going to determine, the last 3 minutes here, who's able to dig in and find that second level and finish out the game here.
And it's on both sides of the court as Murillo tries the 3, no good. Rebound by Birch. And then Birch is fouled. Hunter Grigg reached in, thought he had a jump ball, and I wouldn't have been surprised if that would have been the call.
That could have gone either way, you're right.
But it goes as a foul. 3 fouls now on the Beavers, 2 on the Bears. And if you're looking to start fouling to stop the clock as this game gets closer. 4-point game, 3 minutes left to go. Anderson goes inside to Birch. Bad pass. Birch had the advantage on the size. Anderson threw it too far baseline. Birch couldn't run it down, and that's a turnover. Opportunity missed for the Bears.
And Hunter Grigg, a lot smaller size-wise. He was digging in and had good position on that one.
And up top it goes to Zach Grigg. Zach back to Hunter in the corner. Back up top to Zach. Over to Tykert. Lob in the corner to Hunter. Now to Zach, to Tykert. A lot of ball movement, but not a lot of success right here on this series. They can't get it inside the 3-point line. Finally due to Zach Grigg, pump fake. What a move. That was a great pass, great backdoor cut. And Zach Grigg showed his athleticism there. Got the pump fake, led to the easy layup. And the 6-point lead at 54-48. Anderson up top. Saxton, Tafoya. Tafoya thought about the 3. He'll go in the corner to Anderson. Anderson will come back up. And Adamson almost had the steal. Tips it to Tafoya. Tafoya down the lane to Birch. Birch. Can't get it to go. Missed opportunity.
You're seeing American Falls front the Bear Lake Bears right now to try and counter that size. And Tafoya had that shot out to the top that he might have been able to get off, but that's because Bear Lake is sinking in on those bigs.
Shot is
American Falls is, sorry.
Shot is missed by Tykert, and then Ewing misses at the other end. Held ball, and it'll be Bear Lake ball. That was a heads-up play there by Ewing to reach in and tie up Zach Grigg, who had secured the rebound. And so the Bears have the ball. This is still anybody's ball game. 6-point lead is all, 1:41 left. And Saxton will inbound on the baseline for the Bears. He'll lob it into Birch. Birch going to go to Ewing up top. Ewing had the three, doesn't take it, doesn't drive either. He'll back it out, set the offense, and go to Anderson. 22-second shot clock. Time becoming an issue for the Bears. They need to be having a little bit more urgency maybe on this possession. Tafoya with it in the corner goes to Birch. Birch cross court, Anderson. He'll shoot the three. Oh, I thought that was in again. Rebound to Zach Grigg.
That's what you've got to have. Once again, I mentioned, they're sucking in on the bigs to try and stipe that, but you're going to have those open shots outside.
And missed by Adamson, but he gets the rebound, and then Birch commits the foul. That hustle play by Hernandez underneath to tip that rebound away from Birch and into the hands of Adamson, it was huge. That would have been Bear Lake basketball with a chance to cut into the lead. Instead, Adamson, with his 15 points on the night, goes back to the foul line with a chance to extend this to a 3-possession game.
And once again, this is where I mentioned, Hernandez is the tallest player, not by much, for American Falls, but his athleticism, he can hold that in there and get up just enough to tip that out. Had he, and he's still dealing with foul trouble, but if you don't have him on the floor, you're probably not getting that tip away from the Bears.
Absolutely. 30-second timeout taken by Coach Ward. We'll take it with him on the SVI Sports Network.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. We have very competent and successful providers that provide the best care possible. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. As a hospital, we're really, really proud of what we are able to provide. It's an all-encompassing department that is very, very much needed.
You're watching live coverage of Bear Lake Bears basketball on the SVI Sports Network. Here's Jared and Lisa.
Buckle up for the last 1:04 of this ball game. It's a closer game than I think anybody could have predicted. Even the computers had the American Falls Beavers as a 16-point favorite in this game, and with just 1:04 left to play, American Falls has a 7-point lead. The biggest lead of the game for American Falls has been 9. Biggest lead for the Bear Lake Bears in the game has been 7, and neither team is really able to put the other team away at any point in this game. Right now, Adamson at the line trying to make it an 8-point game. He's been the high scorer on the night for the Beavers. It's been the Tate Ewing show offensively for the Bears. And we got a 1:04 to see who's going to come out on top of this one.
And it really could go either way. It's both teams are fighting. Both teams are staying in the fight. It'll be fun to watch this last minute.
Adamson makes them both, so extends the lead to 8. Saxton with it in the backcourt. He'll push the ball into the front court and hand it to Anderson. Anderson has played the entire fourth quarter with those 4 fouls. Ewing with it up top. Bears got to show some urgency on offense, down by 3 possessions. Saxton goes to Anderson, still clear out deep, and time ticking. Bears showing no urgency here on offense. Ewing finally goes down the lane, and he's going to have to kick it, and it's knocked away and taken away by Hunter Grigg. But then Saxton with the hustle play to steal it right back for the Bears, and then Saxton is fouled.
And now I could be wrong, but I think the shot clock should have reset there. I felt like there was a change in possession, but they did not reset the shot clock.
It doesn't matter because of the foul ultimately, but I agree with you. I think that the Beavers had the ball long enough to reset the shot clock. Shot clock is off for the rest of the game because we're under 35 seconds to play. As Ewing, the Bears have taken almost 30 seconds off this clock without getting a shot up, down by 8. Now Anderson will shoot the 3, make the 3. The UCA Phil 66 3-point make, and it's a foul. Zach Grigg will be fouled. That's only the 4th. Bears still have 1 foul to give.
And now you got to be careful. This is hard because you've got to be right on top of a foul, but at the same time, you've still got to make a basketball play and not just, make hard fouls. So that one I felt like a little bit close, but you've got to make the quick foul, especially, like you said, we're on a huge time crunch right now for the Bears.
And we did see that in the JV game where there was the push in the back that they did call an intentional foul in that JV game. So 5-point game, 17.2. Bolgen will head to the foul line. And that foul was committed by Ewing. In fact, both the fouls were committed by Ewing there. So he has, nope, that one they say is on Tafoya. So
Tafoya.
Ewing has 3, Tafoya now has 3, Anderson has 4, Saxton with 4, Birch with 3. I think. So Bears going to keep these guys out here offensively, but next time American Falls gets the ball, maybe the Bears do some offense, defense, get some people out there that have some fouls to give. Bolgen missed the first. That's what you want if you're the Bears. Now you got to get him to miss the second, get the rebound, and you're still in this game, only down by 5, 56-51, 17 seconds left.
And if you're the Bears, you've got to get a rebound, get into a point guard, and go straight to the hole. You have to go get you've got to go get a quick shot.
And Hunter Grigg came up with the rebound. He missed, and then that's the worst-case scenario if you're the Beavers. The foul on American Falls.
And their coach is letting him know he's laying into both of his sons out there because that was just a really low IQ play, and for two players that should not be making that kind of a mistake.
Yeah, Hunter got the rebound, probably should have pulled it back out, tried to take time, put the shot back up and missed, and then his brother Zach is the one that commits the foul and sends Birch to the foul line at the other end. Birch's first foul shot, no good. Bears needed that one. Brox is going to be frustrated with himself in a 5-point game with 13 seconds left. He can cut it to 4, but that one would have been a chance if he makes them both to cut it to just a one-possession game. His second one is good, and now the Bears will try to foul again, I'm sure, as the ball comes into Adamson. Adamson gets it away to Zach Grigg. Grigg cross-court to Hernandez. Hernandez gets rid of it, but it goes to Saxton. Saxton in the front court. Ewing loses it as he went up for it, and then the foul on Ewing. The Bears had an opportunity there after Saxton got the steal, but then as Ewing went up for it, I'm not sure who tipped away from me, but somebody got just enough of a hand on the ball to knock that one away. And Adamson will go to the foul line, and the Beavers will escape with the win.
Here's something that I struggle with at the end of games. As a ref, if you know a team is trying to foul, you need to be looking to call those fouls. And I know for the Bears that worked out because there was a turnover. But the problem is if you're not looking to call the fouls when the players are actively trying to foul, a lot of times that's when you can get people hurt. And so the refs really need to keep an eye on that. Not only, you're burning a lot of time, but you're actively trying to foul, and that's where it gets more dangerous because people start getting more desperate.
So Adamson missed the first foul shot. So even with only 1.3 seconds left, the game's not over. If the Bears were to get a rebound, make one quick pass and get a three-point shot, potentially a foul call on that three-point shot, this is still a ball game. I mean, stranger things have happened. I'm not expecting it because I do feel like the Beavers have this one in hand, and if Adamson makes the foul shot, it's a moot point because it'll be a 5-point game. There is no such thing as a 5-point play in basketball with only 1.3 seconds left. But what a game for the Bear Lake Bears. We talked about it pregame that they were due for a game, and they played it tonight. They're going to come up just short, it looks like, 56-52 with just 1.3 seconds left, and Adamson at the foul line. But the Bears have played hard, hustled hard, and stayed in this ball game from opening tip until now.
And I honestly do believe that they have put together a complete game tonight. And to be able to be at this point, win or lose, against the number 4 team in the state should give them the confidence boost to know that they can play with anybody in this conference.
And Adamson misses it. Ewing will chuck it. The Beavers knew that it had to be a foul call, so they back off. Ewing's shot hits a light and is no good. So it's going to be a 4-point win for the Beavers. But the Bears do not need to be hanging their head. They're walking off disappointed, and any time a competitor loses a game, they're going to be disappointed. But this was a winnable game for sure.
It really was, and I mentioned I really feel like the Bears put together a complete game. If they play like this, they could upset and make some interesting things happen come district tournament time.
What a game. You said that this was one of the funnest games you've seen this year.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Not because you're here, Lisa. I'd prefer if you were here.
She's a lot better looking, yeah.
but because of the intensity both teams played with, both teams came out here, left it all on the court. Both of them are going to wake up tomorrow morning knowing they were in a basketball game. It was physical, it was tough, and good basketball from both teams. Shout out to both of them. We got Coach Trevor Ward coming up, so if you'll hand him your headset and let's talk to Coach Trevor Ward. Coach, wow, pregame, Andrew and I talked about pregame. The keys to the game is you need to play a complete game, and I will say you did it. My opinion, even though it was a loss, this is the number 4 team in the state. You're a 16-point underdog. You lost by 4 and had some chances there at the end. Best game, I think, most complete game your team has played this year. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. I agree. They got after it tonight, and they were excited to do it. So super proud of their effort. A couple things don't go our way. A couple layups don't go our way, and we give up some easy ones to them down low. You know, we held them pretty good on the 3 line compared to last time. So overall, I was happy with the effort.
Good effort. And you got Marsh Valley on Friday night. That's a game that was close here, and that's a game that I wouldn't be surprised if you can go out and get the win there in Marsh Valley. I think the 3-point shooting was the key to that game as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was. We're trying to get out on it and get them to run off the line a little bit, but we got to stop the easy layups. So it's kind of those are the 2 things that are killing us. So open layup and an open 3.
And a couple times the one leads to the other. Adamson for American Falls got hot in the second half, and his last shot was actually a 2-point shot. He was wide open on the wing. You guys close out on him well. You don't want to shoot that 3, and it created a lane to the bucket. So one leads to the other, but overall, great defensive effort for the Bears tonight. And I've noticed you've gone a little bit smaller trying to defend the perimeter. You played a lot more with basically a 3 to 4 guard lineup with Tafoya, Anderson, and either Saxon or Roberts on the court quite a bit.
Got to keep up with AF. They got speed. They're quick. So
yeah, I
stick with them.
I agreed. I talked to Coach Steve Grigg before the game and just complimented him. His sons are quick. They are great ball handlers. And Zach, though you talked about those easy layups, a lot of those were Zach Grigg's quick shots, but Tate Ewing tonight was a beast. He finished with, I want to say 24, and he had the ball on that last play. If that doesn't get tipped away and he hits that 3 with about 4 or 5 seconds left, who knows what could have happened. But Tate Ewing, what a night for him, and he officially finished, pulled up the wrong one. He finishes Lisa's stats here, having for 22 points on the game, 8 out of 14 shooting. Good night for him.
That's awesome. And Brox, we missed him when he was in foul trouble too, so if we can get everyone to play a complete game, we'll be in business.
Yeah, talking to Coach Grigg, and I'm sure you'll echo the same thing, this district tournament could be real fun next week. You guys are right there with American Falls. You're right there with Marsh Valley. Snake has kind of separated themselves, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some upsets in this tournament. It could be a real fun tournament starting next week, next Monday night. But you got one more game to play. Go get Marsh Valley on Friday.
Okay, we will.
Thanks for coming up, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Andrew, we'll slip the headset back on, and let's go with some post-game stats, and then we'll get your final thoughts on it. So for the American Falls Beavers, 17 points for Adamson. A lot of those coming in the second half. 50% shooting overall. 4 out of 6 from 2, 2 out of 6 from 3, which you'll take. And most 2 out of those last 2 3-point shots were makes. And so he was 0 for 4 to start, 2 for 2 down the stretch. Hunter Grigg ended with 4. Zach Grigg ended with 12. I made the comment at halftime that the Bears had held him scoreless. He came out in the second half, put up 12 points. He was 3 out of 6 from 2-point range, 1 out of 4 from 3-point range, and 3 out of 4 from the foul line for him. And then the rest of the scoring was done by Hernandez, had 6, Tykert had 5, and Murillo, he had that early 3, had 1 more foul shot down the stretch, and ends with 4. That's how they get to 58. They outscored the Bears. Actually, the Bears outscored the Beavers 14-11 in the first quarter. The Beavers won the second 14-13. The Beavers won the third, and that was the difference in the game, ultimately 21-13 in the third quarter. But the Bears fought back, won the fourth quarter 12-10, and made it a game. Rebounding for the Beavers, and the bottom of the pitcher's cut off. I can't tell you the total rebounding, but it was the story of the game. Looks like 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 on the offensive end. So the Bears kind of cleaned that up. In the first half, they had 10 offensive rebounds. The Bears only allowed 5 offensive rebounds in the second half. So a better effort there for the Bear Lake Bears on the boards in the second half. For the Bears, the scoring, the big scorer was Tate Ewing. We've talked about him already. 8 out of 14 from 2, 5 out of 9 from 2, 3 out of 5, 60% from 3. And that's not usually Tate's forte. He's not known as a three-point shooter, but tonight he was hot from out there. 3 out of 5, 3 out of 4 from the foul line. So great effort for Tate Ewing all around. He scored 22. Anderson finished with 10, and his big points were right at the end of the half when the Beavers had built up the 4-point lead. Anderson scored 4 out of the 6 final points of the second half. The Bears scored 6 in a row to end the half and take a 2-point lead into halftime, and 4 of those were from Anderson. He was 42% shooting on the night. 2 out of 6 from 3, so not bad. You'll take that percentage most nights from most players. Brox Birch had 7. You could tell that the emphasis of the American Falls defense was on Birch. Birch lit up American Falls in AF, and talking to Coach Steve Grigg before the game, he said that was his focus, is to shut down Birch. They did. He still got his 7, but what it did is open it up Tate Ewing. You got to pick your poison there. Those two both are very big, very athletic compared to most of the American Falls Beavers as far as size, and you're going to let one of the two of them score. They chose to let Ewing, and he made him pay tonight.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is when you have certain players that are so dynamic, and they can pull so much attention on the court, you start to see games shift. And that's exactly what we saw tonight. Just like you said, there was the heavy emphasis on Birch, keep him, from going and make somebody else beat us tonight, right? And for American Falls, it worked. It almost didn't, because you had a player in Ewing that was ready to step up to that challenge.
Tafoya finished with 5, none bigger than his 3-point shot that came late when the Beavers looked like they were pulling away. They got it up to 9 points, looked like they were going to pull away. Tafoya made that big 3, kept him Bears close in that moment, so good night for him. Robinson had 6. He's usually pretty quiet offensively. He had some big rebounds as well. He had a couple block shots, so good night for Robinson with his 6. Saxton had 2. The rest of the Bears remained scoreless. Roberts had a decent game. 0 for 1 shooting. He only took the 1 shot, but he played some important minutes, especially when Anderson got in foul trouble. I felt like that could be the point when the Beavers really had the advantage. You take your ball handler out, and I don't care who it is on which team, your primary ball handler, whether it be Zach Grigg for American Falls, whether it be Anderson for Bear Lake. On the girls' side of things, Brooke Bamey for the Bear Lake Bears. You take them out of the game for an extended period of time, and things can get away from you tonight. And Roberts played big minutes during that time, not as the primary ball handler, but the person that came in for Anderson. And the Bears stayed in the game, and when Anderson came in the fourth quarter, stayed out of foul trouble, and the Bears fought back. So
yeah, and that makes a big difference. It does. It alters the game plan when you don't have your primary ball handler out there. Things just look, and so big credit to the Bears for being able to stay in it and respond to that, because it does shift your offense. It shifts the feel, and so to be able to stay in that game and to still be able to run your offense when you don't have that dynamic that you're expecting, that's huge.
And it's one of those things you talked about at halftime when I said Zach Grigg hadn't scored, how he affects the game in other ways. When your primary ball handler, they affect the game in a lot of ways that don't always show up on the stat sheet. And that's why I say even though Roberts doesn't score, he doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He put in some important minutes out there tonight, so good night all around for the Bear Lake Bears. Like I said, it's weird to hear me congratulate the coach on a loss, but when you're supposed to get almost run out of the gym by a team that did run you out of the gym at their place, and you keep it to a 4-point game and have, in the last minute of the game, have a chance to complete the comeback and come all the way from behind, you got to congratulate the Bear Lake Bears team on a very complete game. This is reminiscent of the Teton game. You commented on that when you got here tonight. The Bears stayed with Teton, but down the stretch in the fourth quarter, the Bears ran out of gas. Tonight, they didn't run out of gas. Both teams, I shouldn't say that, both teams ran out of gas. That fourth quarter, you could see it. For the Beavers, there was a lot of sweat, a lot of hands on knees. Mm-hmm. For the Bears, a lot of hands on knees, a lot of wiping the sweat off their face every time they had a chance. Both teams knew they worked hard tonight. Both teams kind of run out of gas in the fourth quarter, but the effort never stopped.
Yeah, and that's, when Coach Ward had the headset on, I was still here and loving the conversation. The one thought that just kept coming to me as that conversation was happening, and I wrote it down on my paper and turned it to Coach Ward, is grit. And that is something that I think both teams showed here, is that they had that ability to stay in it mentally, to stay in it physically as much as they could. Yes, they were tired, but they were still giving everything they had. And I think that's a big credit to players as individuals. That's a big credit to a coaching staff to be able to know how to push, when to push, and to be able to get that. And I think it's a wonderful sign for Bear Lake to be seeing that, especially at a game of this high of caliber.
So 2 out of the last 3 games for the Bears have been fantastic. They took Marsh Valley down to the wire here at home last week. They put American Falls to the wire. And those 2 teams, they're ranked 4th and 6th in the state.
Right.
They played a great game against Teton. The Bears have that potential. They're right there. Wouldn't be surprised to see some upsets as we go down the stretch. Obviously, Snake River the team to beat in the tournament, but anything can happen.
And look, if you're going to put together a season, you don't necessarily care about playing great at the beginning of the season. You want to be peaking now. And to me, it seems like Bear Lake is on that trajectory where they are starting to peak, and they're really, they've shown flashes of it, right? Early against Teton and so on. But as you mentioned, 2 of the last 3 games, they have been where they wanted to be against very high-ranked opponents. And so to be peaking right now, going into district tournament times, this is when you want to be playing your best basketball. Bear Lake is showing that. The unfortunate thing is that because of how the state tournaments are set up, you not only have to be coming to your peak, but you have to see a decline in some of the others. And you don't see that happen very often in our district because of how great the programs are in general.
Yeah, it says a lot about our district.
It does.
All right. Thank you for joining me tonight, Andrew. The next broadcast for me is going to be Friday night from Marsh Valley when the Bears take on the Marsh Valley Eagles. The wrestling team is home tomorrow night. This is their senior night. I invite everybody to come out and check out some wrestling. But we're going to wrap it up. Steaton back in the studio in Star Valley doing the producing. Thank you to him. Willow out of the radio station. The man, the myth, the beard. Ray Henry on the camera as always. And for everybody else on the SVI Sports Network, this is
Andrew Wallentine
and Jared Hill. You were saying good night, everybody.